Okay, study session time. So we could go over more example problems. We can jump right to 10 exercises. We could look at some of the homework things because I have access to that even if you don't yet from the textbook. How can I be helpful?
I have a, I'm not quite sure how to do number 9 from last week's 10 exercises.
The rounding or the fraction?
The small team format.
Fraction format. Okay. This one, the area.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me make my titles nice. Actually, I'm gonna, sorry, that might look ugly, but now I can actually grab it. It's not all squished up. Okay, you could do fraction format. 10 exercise number 9. So first tell me, what was a unit rate?
I'm not sure.
Let's go look at the lecture today. So a unit rate was, the second value was 1, and we got that by dividing everything by the bottom number. And the shortcut we discovered was we don't actually care about 40 divided by 40 or 10 divided by 10. That's always going to be 1. So we really are just doing the top divided by the bottom. So we did another one that was just top divided by bottom, and that's a unit rate. So it's just division. So we have 0.75 square miles, and we have 35,427 people. Now we could write this wrong because it asks for a certain thing. It wants people per square mile. So which one of these is that? Do I want people on top and square mile on the bottom? Or do I want square mile on top and people on the bottom? Which way did I read it with per?
People on top.
People on top, right? We want people per square mile. So this one is wrong. This one makes us happy. Okay, so if I'm doing top divided by bottom, unit rate is top divided by bottom. The first step was just to figure out which one was on top. So there we go. Now I want people divided by square miles. So for the 35, is this too close to the bottom of the screen for anyone? I don't know what it is. 35, 427 divided by 0.75. Oops. 47,236. People per square mile.
No, Maya.
Does it make sense that when I divide by something less than 1, it gets bigger? Yes, we talked about that a bunch earlier today. If just part of a square mile had this many people. If we had a whole square mile, there would be more. Questions about that one now that you see all the steps?
I got it now. Thank you.
Got it.
Okay, what next?
You have to do number 10, please.
10 on the same set?
Yeah.
Okay. This one I don't want to give away, so let's do it, but I'll change the numbers on you. Whoops, once again. There we go. Okay. So let's say instead of 54 ounces, it's 30 ounces. And instead of 59 ounces, it's 40 ounces. So you'll have to do it again with the right numbers to actually turn in the homework, but you'll see how it's done now.
We're brother.
So we had two ways of doing this. Everyone here happens to like one way. We don't need to do both. So going back to our lecture, we could say, oops, where was it? This one. We could say it's amount divided by dollar, or we could say it's dollar divided by amount. Anyone have a preference? Maybe we all have the same preference, maybe we don't.
Neither. It works either way.
When you're saying which is the better deal, does it make more sense to look for a smaller dollar amount or a bigger item amount?
Bigger item amount.
Bigger item. Okay, so we'll do it with the amount divided by the money. And if you don't like it after all, then we will just do it the other way too. So brand M is 30 ounces and $4.79. Brand T is 40 ounces and
Yes.
are we too close to the bottom?
No.
I could see it.
Okay, holler if you can. So top divided by bottom. Now on your homework, you probably are doing all of one and then doing all of the other. I'm doing them this way on purpose so you can see it's exactly the same steps. Okay, 30 divided by 479. So that's going to be 6.2-ish. And I'm going to round. Have I used yet the fact that I can make wiggly equal signs to mean I've rounded in that step?
I believe.
I think I did that last time. And on the other one, it will be about 40 divided by 599. So 6.7-ish. One moment, be right back. Okay, background noise dealt with. So this is about 6.7 ounces per dollar. So we want the bigger one. So that's the better buy. I'm not really going to put a boxer on my answer, partly because I'm rounding and partly because I don't care. The question wasn't how many ounces per dollar was each price. It was just which is the better buy. Anyone want me to do it the flipped way with the dollars on top and you find the smaller answer?
Sure.
Okay. So we still have brand M and brand T. And this one is now dollars on top style. And again, you don't need to do both. Just do whichever works best for your brain. Different people prefer one or the other. So now that I've written it that way, it's still top divided by bottom. Right, I am finding unit rates. So 479 divided by 30. Getting about 0.15. Oops, I should do rounding. So round up 0.16. That's dollars per ounce. And in real life, we would probably write it as 16 cents per ounce, but that's okay. And for here, it was 5.99 divided by 40. Why didn't that copy? Let's try it again. Grab. Oh, okay, so that's about 0.15 dollars per ounce. Good night. Thank you for staying. And we probably in real life would write that as 15 cents. In any case, if you buy an ounce of it, this one's cheaper, so it's the better buy. Either way, we pick brand T. We just reason a little differently. Questions about either of those?
Pretty sure I got it. Thank you.
Okay, so do it again, but with different numbers where the 30 and the 40 are. Use the real numbers and you'll get it. Okay, anything else here?
Number 4.
Still in the fraction format?
Yeah.
Okay. Prime factorization of 126. Should I do 3 also for the contrast?
Do what?
Did I do 3 and 4 so we can see how they're different?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, I don't want to give away the answer to this one. So let's change the number. Instead of 126, let's do
Oh, sure.
about 70. So for how many factors, that's where we make the horseshoe shape. For prime factorization, that's where we make the tree. So I will do both and fit them on the same page. And so you can see how they're the same. Whoops, not factorization, factor. Thinking too much about what I'm about to do is not what I am doing. Okay. So this one is like the horseshoe game. We say, well, 1 and 70 are factors. 1 and the number always work. Does 2 work?
Yes.
Sure. 2 and 35. Does 3 work? The shortcut to 3 was add up the digits and see if 3 goes into that. 7 plus 0 is 7. Does 3 go into 7?
No.
No, so 3 doesn't work. Does 4 work?
No.
No, because we know 4 times 20 is 80. So if we count by 4s, we'll get to 80. We won't get to 70 and 80 because we won't go 10 at a time counting by 4s. So 4 doesn't work. 5?
Yes.
Yeah, it ends in 0. So it's going to be 5 times something. So I could do some long division. I could pull up my calculator.
14.
So 14. Does 6 work? No, 2 and 3 have to both work for 6, and 3 didn't. Does 7 work?
Yes.
Sure, 7 and 10. Does 8 work? Nope, because we can't
Yeah.
2s, powers of 2. So 2, 4, and 2 again is 8. If 4 didn't work, 8's not going to work. 9 was an add them up again. 7 plus 0 is 7. Does 9 go into 7? No, so 9's not going to go into this. And then we're back where we were. If anything bigger than 10 was going to work, it would need a smaller thing to match with. So there's not going to be a 15 or an 18 or something tricky waiting to happen. So this is all of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 factors. So that was one game to play with factors. Find all the factors of a number. The other was the prime factorization. I take my number and I make a tree. How do I start with 70? There's lots of ways. You can pick any pair of these.
Can you start from either end? It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter what order. So any pair of factors would work. Anyone
7
have
and 10.
7 and 10? Okay, 7 and 10. 7 is prime. It doesn't split up anymore. 10 is 2 and 5. The only thing that people do wrong with factor trees is because when we take our tests, our brains turn off a little. We forget to write them all down. We might like leave out the 5 or something. So the recommendation is either to bring down any leaf that stopped early, and then you can just read across the bottom, or to circle all the leaves so you don't forget any. Do whatever makes you happy with your brain and artwork. So this one is a 2, a 5, and a 7. And again, it's traditional to put them in order, just so that when I'm comparing my work with your work, it's easy to say, yeah, we got the same thing. If I had 2 times 5 times 7, and you had 7 times 5 times 2, it would just take a little bit longer to say we agree.
Okay.
You can do the same thing to 126 and get the real homework done. Questions about either process?
I'm good here.
Okay. Good review. More here? Other problems? Do you want more from either rounding, or should we look at the percent format already?
I think I'm okay on those ends.
Let me just give you a teaser then, since we have 10 minutes, but I kind of think we're done. If you go to the bottom of the table of contents, there's the overall test for the topic. So if you're ever wondering, am I on track? Then here's a test with everything about shapeshifting. Of course, we haven't gotten to a bunch of it yet. It has answers at the bottom. These are just all those random problems we saw put together. So if you reload it, the numbers change, but the answers update also. If this was a class that had midterms, then I would just print one of these out and that's your midterm. So if it helps you to have sort of cumulative review instead of bits and pieces, then go ahead and look at this. Just stop at the stuff we haven't gotten to yet. There's also this multiplication speed quiz, which I have to shrink to fit on the Jamboard. So if you are rusty on your times tables, then we saw last week the factor game, which was the fun way to practice, but sometimes you just want to practice. So 69, 854 it gave me. $57, $632. And you could do your multiplication practice. 4 times 2 is 8, 5 times 2 is 10, and so on and so forth. So that's available for you also at the bottom here, if that looks like something good to do. If there's nothing more, then we'll do measurement when I see you on Thursday. Any other questions? We have 6 more minutes.
Can we look at number 3 and 4 of today's exercises?
The percent format one?
Yes.
Sure. Let me make them bigger again. And, there we go. Okay. Okay, riploppy stuff. I'm actually going to go into our lecture and find where we had riplop. And say, yeah, we remember riplop. So this was if you're going from decimal to percent, you go right. If you're going from percent to decimal, you go left. Okay, so I have 5.5%. Am I doing rip or lop? Right into percent or left out of percent? Which one am I doing here?
Right?
All right. Don't tell me right or you can admit we're not going into percent. We're going out of percent. We're starting in the percent and trying to get rid of it. So this is
So-
left out of percent. So 1, 2 to the left, we'll need a 0 and 0.055. I shouldn't have said don't. You were telling me. Okay, then for this one, we have the 0.8911. Now are we going into percent or out of percent? Think about that more than left and right. That's what I was trying to say.
Right?
Yeah, into percent. Right? We want it to be a percent. It's not a percent yet. So we'd go right.
You wrote 89. You wrote 811.
Oh, I did.
I don't think we'll get the same answer that way.
No. 8911. There we go. And there is a percent symbol at the end because we went into percent. Ta-da. Yeah, I told you last week I have made more math mistakes than you and your whole family. By the time I finish grad school, you won't catch up.
So can you show me the ratio? I'm stuck on number 8 in the fraction format.
This one, right? Fraction 1750 as a percent. Or is that the wrong problem? I think that's the wrong one. You were doing,
No, it's the leaning tower.
yeah, this one. Okay. I'll label this afterwards, but you should put fraction format 10 exercises. I'll just write it. Fraction. Okay, so the only tricky part here was there's two ways we could write it and we don't know which is right. Do we want to hit on leans over height? Or do we want it height over leans? They both are fine as ratios. It's just that they're asking for only one of them. In the privacy of our own home, we could write it either way, but which one does it want?
Tall and then leans.
What is the ratio of leans
Height
to
over leans.
leans coming first?
Oh, right.
So instead of per, now they're using the word to, but leans to height. We go down the thing. So this is the wrong one. So 184.5 tall, that's going to be on the bottom. and 13 feet of liens will be on the top. And that's all there is to it. We don't have to reduce this or do anything with it. We're just writing one number above another number, but in the order that they ask us to.
Oh, I see. So that is the ratio.
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
They keep saying the most common mistake you'll make all term is making things harder than they are. All you're doing is writing one number on another. Okay, I should go and be with my kids. Get the little one out of the bath that you heard him filling up his bath earlier. So have a good 2 days. I'll see some of you Wednesday at 1 because we decided on that for tomorrow. And if not then Thursday night for class.
Thank you.